3/15/20 by Childish Gambino. Surprise! Childish Gambino dropped a new album on his official website. A few hours later, he took it away. A few days later, he officially updated iTunes with the album titled the date it was released, 3/15/20, without any artwork. With so much time in between projects and doing other things, is he still producing high-quality music? How do we feel about it? Here's our honest review of 3/15 by Childish Gambino.
What's so funny, man?
I feel like you should have just added surprise, mother. Yeah, man.
Small fries, motherfucker. Childish Gambino, man. This is your guy.
Yeah, man. My guy.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the other artworks that were there but no longer there.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the final artwork and the artworks you saw before that?
Well, the final artwork is just self-explanatory. I really don't care about it. But the predetermined album cover before, I actually kind of like. It's a very subtle but deep mind state of the current generation of society that we're in today. Everybody's so fixated, like on my man here with his phone and everything, but in the background, stuff is happening. So I think that's a really, really deep, introspective cover, and I would love to see that colored, but it does this thing, where it's black and white.
I feel like the white cover was a safe thing that he chose. I don't know for sure. This is my assumption. I'm assuming everything started taking realization, like, man, this thing is a little bit deeper than it's supposed to, than we thought it was initially. Yeah. Let's change that album artwork.
And you
some
said
people might get offended.
You said it had a title too, right? What was the title? The Day?
I don't remember what people were calling it at the time. It was on the website.
Yeah.
Maybe it's up here.
No, it's not.
No,
I remember seeing it. I just can't remember what it was.
But people had a name, and people had names for all the songs. Now, I don't know if all of this was confirmed.
Do you think this is what he wanted, that for people to have their own
possibly
names?
That artists like to be super artsy and stuff like that, and say, hey, we want to chew to pick.
Yeah.
The flow of this project, man, is Childish Gambino not rapping, because that's what I wanted him to do, and he's doing more of the Awaken My Love style, summer and love style, feels like summer type songs.
Yeah, I really wanted to see him rapping, since he plans on retiring the name Childish Gambino. But, we got a little bit more, I want to say maybe some other cuts from the Awaken My Love type of vibes that we got.
Highlights, man, I got a couple. So Algorithm is cool. I don't like the hook at all. I'll just go ahead and say that. Don't like the hook at all. I do like what he's doing with the kind of like, I don't know the words, but you know what I'm talking about. Like the tone he's rapping in, he's kind of using like the deeper tone of his voice, and it's kind of machined it soundish. Sounds pretty dope. Time, I didn't know Ariana Grande was on the song, but it's an amazing song. Love it. Super, super dope. I do like the fact that they're shouting out all the women on 1238, whatever you want to call that song, with 21 Savage. That was kind of dope that he shouted all the women out, Arthurs, performers, and stuff like that. That's all I like about that song, though. 1910, I believe this is the song when he's just like, to be beautiful is to be hunted. I can't change your truth. That song is fucking amazing. Love it. And I feel like it's a really deep meaning to that song, and I think he's just kind of just talking about like his dad telling him, like, look, man, you're black, you're gonna have some issues growing up, and that's gonna mean you're gonna be a target for a lot of people. That's what I took from the song. It could mean absolutely none of that. That's just what I took from the song, and it's just a vibe overall. It's dope. Putting it on my playlist for life. After that, we get to some really somewhat awkward songs, I guess you could say. No, there's a song up here. I want to say it's 2419. It's Sweet Thing. It's got like it's got like a dope vibe to it. Yeah. A cool singing section towards the end. Feels like summer. We had already heard that on the song. The very last song on the project, 5549, is actually him somewhat rapping. Dope. But it's not him rapping the way I want him to rap. I can't push my way of thinking on other artists. And then I want to say it's 35, 31, and 39, 28. It's just a song where he starts talking about 7 billion people on the planet.
Yeah.
And so I don't like when he's talking it. It sounded like it was about to be really bad. But then when it came in and he started singing with the music and stuff, I'm like, oh, this song is actually pretty hard.
Pretty much. You echoed all my my thoughts about the project. So I'll just want to go over the sound. I was a big fan of what he did with Awaken My Love. So having that sound kind of carried over to here, I was excited because I did like his approach to music, how he did. I felt like it was like some old jazzy funkadelic swag that he had with it. And I like to see how he's like, you know, not afraid to continue that style of music because I think he excels at it. I really like what he does with his vocal pitches at times. I'm with you with the talking. The talking kind of sounds a little bit boring at times, but that's always been a staple of his, even before Awaken My Love. So I feel like that's just Childish Gambino. But what I do like is the vibe and the ambiance that he creates with this project, just because of the production and the musical aspect of it. Like, I don't know why he didn't decide to include track names, but this album can be really played from beginning to end, just as kind of like in the background and still come off as like something pleasant to the ear. But I really think that's what he accomplished with this project is the fact that the instrumentals and the vocals and everything really, really come off really authentic. And that's what I like about the album.
Lowlights, the intro. I don't want to hear no Wakanda sounding intro at the beginning of the album and not actually feel like I'm in Wakanda after the album actually starts. Algorithm, I love the song that they sample. Hey, body, move your body, let's do it. It's something that's gonna make you move and groove. And then he changed it to, please don't turn that, stop the tempo algorithm. I was like, oh, you just fucked that up. Did you not feel that way?
Slightly.
You ain't gotta,
I'm about to
you
tell
don't
you.
want to catch the heat. Okay.
No, I'm about to say it.
1238. The fuck you? Look, man, I get it. You shouting out all the women and stuff. That's cool, but you can miss me with all of this free flow. I'ma talk and kind of sing and kind of have fun. No, I'm not feeling this record at all. 21 Savage came in there completely on a different topic from Childish Gambino, which really took me out of the song. I was just like, absolutely not. There's another song somewhere on here where it's pretty much Wakanda 2.0 Killmonger's entrance, and I'm like, no, I don't want to hear that on the project. Then we got Littlefoot, Bigfoot. I'm not a fan of it, but I got a kid. He can listen to that song. He'll probably enjoy it. I'll give Gambino a pass on that since he got a kid too. Aside from that, though, I just felt like this album was a kind of missed opportunity. Not the violent song, the song where he's just talking about violence, and I don't hate it, and I wasn't a huge fan of it, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. I feel like that was one of those songs where I felt like this song could have been great.
Yeah.
I felt like this was a missed opportunity, but I feel like overall the album sounds sonically good, even though I don't want to say it.
Yeah.
I do not want to say that.
I completely understand.
Sonically, it does sound pretty good. If we would have reviewed this the first day I heard it, man, I was pissed. I was just like, yo, what is this? Littlefoot, Bigfoot, get out. I'm going to show y'all how to, what the fuck is, I don't want to hear no Land Before Time ass song about moving dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the vibe I get from it.
Listen, I really do like the sound of the album, but the thing is, I'm never going to play it again because of the fact that there's really nothing that comes away where I want to immediately add to my playlist on here. And I feel like with every Gambino project, there's always something I'm going to come back to. But from this one, I really don't feel like there's nothing to gravitate for me to put it on again. Like he was saying, there's a couple messages he got in here that are really pivotal and really deep and dope. But as a song, I don't know if I'm annoyed because it doesn't have a title or just because I really am not connected with the music. I'm too part of the crowd where I wanted to hear him rapping again, like on Because the Internet. I want like another project like that. But I get it. He's the artist. This is probably what he was feeling at the time and everything like that. But with that being said, when he did something different with Awaken My Love, he made something that I wanted to come back to. And with this project, I feel like it was good for the first listen. The second listen was like, oh, that's kind of dope. But by the third, fourth times I was listening to this, I'm like, I feel like this is just purely background music that's just really cool to listen to, but I'm not going to rush to hear it again. And that's where I'm disappointed as a Gambino fan, is just the fact that I feel like he makes music that's always going to be like, yo, I want to go back and hear 3005 again. I want to go back and hear Bonfire from Camp. Like, you can always go back to those
Super
Gambino songs.
She be listening to Bonfire.
It's just like you always go back and listen to it, and it's just like, man, this song is still dope. I'm not getting that with this album. So if y'all understand that from a Gambino standpoint, he makes great music, but it's usually timeless. And I don't know if this is a timeless album that you are going to go back to. Like, yo, I want to go back and hear 2419. Bro, what? Like, I'm not feeling that. So I don't really think this is just something that you can latch on to and just be like, yo, this song was dope, in my opinion.
Final thoughts?
Yeah.
Final grade? Which
Final
one?
thoughts.
Final thoughts. Childish Gambino got 2 really, really hot songs on here to me. Everything else, like he said, I'm never playing again. I like Childish Gambino. He is really smart. He puts together some quality content. His show is funny. He's a funny guy. His sense of humor is kind of funny.
Yes.
I hope he ends up being a Prowler in the next Spider-Man movie and everything like that. You know, fingers crossed. But as far as this project went, I'm not here for this one. It just, I felt like the timing was wrong, and I just feel like for when you take that much time away, it's got to come back sounding a specific type of classic or quality before your fans start kind of getting to the point where it's just like, all right, man, what is this?
Yeah.
You know, how did you feel about 1238?
I thought it was cool, but it was nothing really to be desired. I mean, I like the message, but it's just like, I'm not going to come back to it.
Talking about taking mushrooms and stuff. Have a good night.
So I want to add that, you know, first off, we never thought Childish Gambino was going to happen, period. As an artist, we never thought he was going to get into music. I want people to remember that. This almost couldn't have never happened. He was fine just directing, writing TV shows and everything like that. So with that being said, I will always be appreciative of what we have from Childish Gambino, because he could have never did music, but he wanted to take a different approach, whatever he was going through at the time, and it worked. With that being said, I am appreciative of the artist we have that is Childish Gambino, but this is just one of those projects where I'm like, I don't know if I'm latching on to it. This is my guy. I'm a big fan. And, you know, you're not always going to agree with people that you're, you know, infatuated with, and that's cool. So don't think that I'm just purely hating on this project. It's just not what I was expecting out of an artist that I have come to love a lot.
Final grade. Childish Gambino. I like 2 songs. Sonically, it sounds good, but I'm not rocking with it, man. Sorry, gotta give it an X. Don't want to do that. Love this guy.
Yeah. Same here. I'm gonna have to give it an X. I feel like, you know, sonically is great, but it's just not really much to come back to.